That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and you're waking up with TSS Fantasy.
It's a beautiful morning.
Time. It's time. It's time. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. Yeah. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's time once again to get things started. It's week 2. We got a lot of stuff to get through. I love how Greg starts us off with that great intro in the morning. Let's get it started. Welcome, Justin Jesus Herrera.
Well, it's kind of weird being the most awake person here. I see Greg over here scratching his eyes. I see Jester over here barely keeping his eyes open. And then Commissioner Cooper hits the cold open. I'm over here. I'm stoked for week 2, man. I got a nice night's sleep. I had a good weekend. I'm ready for it. And I'm ready to win you guys some money because, I heard there's a holy one out there that's giving away free DFS picks.
Oh, we can't wait for that. And we actually got it queued up nice this week. That'll be a no frills Jesus this morning. Also, welcome into the studio, Fred the Jester Reyes.
Good morning. I got puffy ass eyes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for listening to us at TSS this morning or wake up or whatever. But still follow me at TSS Justin. We're almost there at 5,000. We need those likes and them follows, please. Good morning, everybody. Let's get to some football talk.
Indeed. It's funny you said the cold open, bro. I couldn't even, no matter how many times I clear my throat, I still was like, yeah. Also, welcome in the studio, Greg OJ, the Juice is Loose Mayor.
Good morning, fellas. Yes, I'm struggling this morning. Yes, I had a long night last night, but I'm here. I'm ready. Let's get going, talk some football. You can follow me on Twitter at BigOJ1. Good morning, fellas. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We're giving a CJ2K football sign and ready for you. All you got to do is hit subscribe. No big deal, right? Also, get on Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We will be doubling your deposit up to $100. Obviously, it's got all the great daily games on it as well, so jump on there as soon as you can. Excuse me. Also, go to tssfantasy.com. All of our rankings are up there, up to date. You'll want to listen, shop, and compare. That's basically what I do. I go through all the rankings. That way I got a good view of what everyone thinks, and you can make your best decisions from there. All right, we got a long injury list. I know I want to get Brian in, but let's get the weather started first and talk about today's weather.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
This isn't just snow, this is flurries. It's coming down, and it clearly affected Matthew Stafford.
All right. I'm sorry about that. My transition video got a little stuck there. All right, let's talk about today's weather. Games under the domes today. Commanders at Lions, Bucks at Saints, Falcons at Rams. And because of the heat, Jerry decided to close the roof today. So Bengals at Cowboys is also going to be in the dome. Cardinals at Raiders as well. So no weather to worry about there. I don't want to waste too much time on the weather today because, quite honestly, there's only a couple games that are really impacted. Colts at Jags today. You can expect some rain. I'm here in Orlando. It's been on and off rain all weekend long, so you definitely can expect some in this game. I don't know how long it'll last, but they say winds up to 10 miles an hour as well. So might want to take note of that. Could be a good sign for the running games at least. James Robinson, Travis Etienne, also Jonathan Taylor, obviously, who tore up this team last year. So that's something to take note of. Seahawks at the Niners as well. I'm sorry, Justin. I don't know. It's just like a rain cloud is over the Niners season. But this might, again, should even things out for you guys like we thought it would last week. I think definitely this week see a lot of the running game, a lot of the defense as well. Yes, go ahead, sir.
There is a difference between rain and an absolute hurricane hitting these stadiums. So
that's true.
I know Bay Area rain, and it would never get to that level. Trust me.
No, yeah, it said basically you'll have light rain for most of the game is essentially what you'll have. So no big deal, but it's again might even things out for you guys a little bit, and again see that. What we
they're also from Seattle, right? Seattle.
That's true. They're used to playing. It's always raining. Absolutely. Everything else is pretty much sunny. Jets at Browns. The wind is 9 miles an hour. Nothing really to take note of unless it gets up to 16. Seahawks and the Niners, by the way, 13 mile an hour winds there too. So again, might affect the kickers in this passing game today. But again, nobody's really starting Trey Lance, are we? All right, let's get just one last little dig. I had to get it in there. All right. So, yeah, like I said, pretty much everything else. I didn't really see much on the weather reports. I want to go through it all. The winds are just kind of okay. Everything seems to be nice other than those 2 games. So just make sure you want to note that. Like I said, we got a long injury report. So let's get Brian Scott from the injured list in to talk about injuries. Brian Scott's like for those ravers from last night. They're still like feeling it this morning. Like, ew, ew. Brian, what's up, my brother? Welcome in. I know we got a long list, so welcome in, my brother.
Well, thanks for having me. And usually by this point in the morning, I'm well into my day, and I'm actually working right now. I'm on call this weekend, so I'm probably more awake than the rest of you.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully the cell phone doesn't go off mid-interview.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm not going to spend too much time on the guys that are out. A lot of that's we know, and we'll update those guys throughout the week heading into week 3. Some surprises though. Alvin Kamara, ESPN just dropped a report saying that he's out, and that was a surprise. Apparently he was going to be a game time decision. He was supposed to test out these ribs in the pre-game warmups, but now they're saying he's out. Even if he does play, it's probably going to be limited, and he probably won't be very effective. Rib injuries suck. Damian Williams, running back for the Falcons, out. He's been placed on IR with a rib injury, just to show you how much those can affect you. He's going to be out 4 weeks minimum. Guys that were out this week, we know about Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman Jr. That was a surprise earlier in the week. He missed 2 days after practicing limited on Wednesday. He's out with some type of quad injury. Chris Godwin's going to be out probably several weeks is my guess. Elijah Mitchell out at least 8 weeks. Dak Prescott, obviously with a thumb. We'll keep updates on that as we get closer to that 4 week mark, because they're predicting that he might be back as early as 4 weeks. I doubt it, but Wan'Dale Robinson, Giants wide receiver, was out week 2. MRI, I think, was negative, but maybe just a precautionary thing. Big one too. J.K. Dobbins practiced full all week. I don't still see him suiting up. They were kind of sketchy, him and Coach Harbaugh, about whether or not he's actually going to play. He's listed as questionable, but 1 week of full practice, I'm not so sure. I think he might need at least another week or 2. So tread with caution there. Guys that we know are in. So we know Najee Harris is a full go. He practiced all week. He's stating that his foot is fine. I'm still a little skeptical. I think long-term there could be an issue there. So keep an eye from week to week on him. Hopefully no other setbacks. Mac Jones had a back injury last week, then was out sick with some stomach bug. But he should be good to go. The back didn't seem too serious. The Bucs, man, the Bucs are probably the worst team off when it comes to injuries this week. Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Brashad Perryman, all aside from Godwin, they're all listed as questionable. Evans is more than likely going to play. Fournette's more than likely going to play. Perryman, I didn't get much updates on. He was limited in practice. He's dealing with a hamstring, so I'm not sure where he's going to be. He could be a game time decision. Julio Jones was also questionable. He's been apparently dealing with some type of knee issue, but he's a wily vet. I wouldn't be surprised if he took a few days off just to kind of rest. He could be a game time decision. Missed 2 days of practice late this week. So whether he plays or not could kind of make the decision about Russell Gage. I mean, just go down the list, man. They got so many guys. Some other guys that are kind of on the fence. Alan Lazard has been listed as questionable. Stated he's probably going to be a game time decision with this ankle injury that is kind of mysterious. So you have to see, but likelihood is that he is going to play. We'll have to see whether he's limited or how many snaps he gets. Dontrell Hilliard, running back for the Titans, apparently is questionable. He might not get as much of a workload as he did week 1 with a hamstring injury. Did limited practice this week. So they got a Monday Night Football game, so it should give him a little bit of time to get ready. So keep an eye on that heading into Monday night game. Mark Ingram, the running back for the Saints, now with Kamara's injury, he's listed as questionable. He was limited in practice all week, so he's probably going to suit up. That might be a good fantasy option for those guys with Kamara if you can pick him up as a backup. Perryman, we talked about. The other one was Kittle. Kittle coming off a hamstring injury. Now, I've heard some conflicting reports. I think he was limited in practice on Friday, was expected to be a game-time decision, but then the Seahawks beat reporter said that he wasn't even on the injury list, which doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm not sure if maybe that was just a technical error. So we have to keep an eye on pregame warm-ups and listen to the reports coming out of the Seattle 49ers game, whether or not Kittle's going to be out there. I think, being in Seattle, weather aside, and I think they're in a dome right now, so he should be able to go. So we'll have to see.
Wow.
Yeah. Whew. Oh, wait, I forgot DeAndre Swift. How can I forget DeAndre Swift?
Wait,
Yeah,
there's more.
Wait. So DeAndre Swift, that was been a big one. He had a big game last week. Reports surfaced that he had an ankle injury, but he played through it. Another report suggesting that he might be on a snap count now heading into week 2. Something to watch out for. He wasn't available for media Friday, which is a little concerning. Maybe he was upset by the proposed snap count. But, played through an ankle injury that he had in the second quarter last week and played very well. So this could be more of the organization basically putting a limit on him as a precautionary measure heading into the season. But I think he's going to play. I just don't know whether the snap count's real or not. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and Jamal Williams might be a nice play today as well. So, yeah, wow. All right. Real quick, before we do head out, too, because we didn't really touch on it because it was my fault on Friday. How about Justin Herbert? What do you see with his injury? How long do you think that may last?
Again, we're talking about ribs, I believe. So, quarterback position, it's really important. The torso, the twisting, rotational mechanism, to throw. He's got some time to rest up because they had the Thursday night game. So I think it should be okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think he plays with a rib protector. So I don't think the injury is as bad as it probably could have been if he didn't have that type of protective gear on. I think he might be limited early in the week, but I expect him to make a full recovery in time for week 3.
Nice. All right. Well, that, like I said, man, take a breath, take a sip of coffee after all that. That went a while. I know. I feel you. We're going to keep you busy, I think, for this upcoming season, I think, Bri.
Yeah.
Let everyone know where they can find you at, Bri, during the NFL week.
Yeah, so usually I do a lot of updates on Twitter at host Brian Scott. I'll usually drop some posts just kind of updating any injury information as I come across it. And then I'll be on some other Belly Up shows throughout the week as well, giving updates as the week progresses. You can look on my website, injurelist.com, Injured List Podcast, Facebook, Instagram. I also got some articles on the Belly Up Fantasy website with Andrew Leduc, where we do some question and answers regarding some of the guys that are injured in fantasy world. So you can get some information there as well if you don't catch the videos.
Andrew's on our show is known as Mr. Mallard, so just so you know.
Mr. Mallard. So your fans know who I'm referring to, Mr. Mallard.
There you go, exactly. Yeah. All right, Brian, we appreciate you coming in. Like I said, it was a long one this week. I do appreciate you stopping by.
No problem.
We'll see you on next Sunday. Appreciate you. And right now, what we're going to do is listen to Jay with the plug of the week.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Jay the Plug here once again to give you my start of the week. Taysom Hill. That's all I gotta say. The Swiss Army knife. If you're in a league that designates him as a quarterback and a tight end, put him in your tight end slot. You'd be crazy not to, because you're going to get the points whether he does something as a quarterback or not. You're going to get points whether he does anything as a tight end. He's going to rush the ball. He's going to catch the ball. 4 rushing attempts for 81 yards and a touchdown on the catch. I mean, they're going to continue to use him. I know they're playing Tampa Bay this weekend, but this guy is going to be used big time. Sorry, Camara owners. I'm a Camara owner. But I'm also a Taysom Hill owner, because if you listen to me at all before your drafts, I told you, get Taysom Hill. What is that noise? Sorry about that. Draft Taysom Hill towards the end of your drafts, dead last. I said it. Hopefully you listen to me. Anyway, he could be on your waiver wire as well. Get him if you can. Jesus! Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like Carlton is having a problem with something. Just put it down. Guys, have a good weekend. Good luck this weekend. Taysom Hill, start him. Let's go.
Jay's plug of the week. Appreciate that, my brother. Lots of entertainment, to say the least. All right, guys. Well, we put it out there on Twitter on Saturdays. It's time to get our mail.
You've got mail.
And before we start, actually, we have a viewer on right now has got a question. Alec McBuckets. Justin, I'm going to hit you up with this. We were just talking about it since in your wheelhouse. Should he start Mark Ingram or Jeff Wilson Jr. full PPR?
Jeff Wilson Jr. The defense for the Bucks is a little bit better against the run than Seattle is. Seattle allowed 101 yards, and they would have allowed a lot more if Nathaniel Hackett knew how to run his team. It would have just absolutely obliterated that. Defense also, to be fair, if he didn't have 2 running backs fumble the ball on the goal line, he would have also had a lot more on the rushing stat line for that game. So when I look at this, I go, Jeff Wilson Jr. about to take over the full workload in San Francisco against a defense that just had a horrible game against one of the better running teams in Denver. So should be an easy transition. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. and Deebo Samuel eat today and have a good game. Mark Ingram, on the other hand, not really in that wheelhouse. I think he's going to have a rough day.
Mark Ingram's played very well in absence of Alvin Kamara. However, that Bucs defense is freaking, and run D especially is super, super nasty. So, yeah, I totally agree with you there. All right, let's go. When I get my fat fingers scroll down here, I'm going to go to Greg on this one. This is for my boy Emilio from the Average Joe Sports Talk podcast. He'd like to know, he's got a couple questions here. First, he wants to know, Pollard, Henderson, or Hall, would you say?
Hall. Which Hall is he talking about? Brees?
He's Brees Hall, yeah.
I'm going Henderson all day. I'm definitely going Henderson. Pollard, I'm staying away from all Dallas Cowboys players right now with Cooper Rush as the quarterback, 1 wide receiver. We don't know what's going on out there. Brees Hall, Michael Carter Jr. proved to be the alpha running back in with the Jets. So I'm going with Henderson. And his other question, Renfro, London, or ATN?
At the flex.
I'm going to go ATN. I like ATN.
Yeah,
over Renfro in London. I like ATN.
I mean, not a bad. And I apologize, but I'm not sure what format this is in. But I like to see Etienne today get some passes out of the backfield. Bust a big play. Talking about the rain, it's always a big factor, especially when big plays come up. So yeah, I do like that as well. All right, let's go to the injury list. Actually has he wanted to come in. I guess he did. We didn't bring in T. Higgins is also a play today, and yes, Kenneth Walker also a play today. He forgot to mention that. So thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate that.
He is thorough.
Yeah, I know. T. Higgins, though, that is actually big though to bring up. So yeah, that was big for us to give a good reminder. All right, Fred, this one is to you. This is from Ben Holloway. He's looking for a flex option. This is PPR. Jahan Dotson or Tyler Lockett?
I think I'm gonna go with Lockett this time. Should I go? Yep, I'm definitely going to go with Lockett this time. I'm going to go with Lockett. I don't like the 49ers. I don't know what happened with the 49ers last week. I'm starting to become an unbeliever. I'm sorry, Justin. So, and I think the way Gino played pretty good last week. He was dinking, dunking, throwing the ball, So I think Tyler Lockett's going to have a good week this week.
Yeah, I mean, he might have a good week, but I like I mean, I don't know if you saw the game, but Jahan Dotson, man, he looks like the truth, to be honest with you. And, like their matchup a little bit better. So that's for me. Greg, did you want to say something real quick?
I got some breaking news. Just came across my Twitter feed. George Kittle is out today.
Wow.
Ooh. Oh, that's big time. Big time news there. See some more with Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, you talked about earlier, Justin. So, yeah, that's big news. OJ, again, bringing the juice all morning long. All right, let's go now to let's go back to our friend Justin. Do we want to keep – this is from our boy Brad. I love Brad. He wants to know, does he keep Mozart or how about Tyler Davis-Price?
Let's see. This one's a tough one because I don't want to keep either one of them. I know who Mostert is, and I know that the moment you plug him in, he has a good game. He's going to be out for 8 weeks afterwards. But you know what? I think at this point, the one that's most likely to have a good game is probably going to be Raheem Mostert. So I'll probably go with him. Tyrion Davis-Price, he's still a rookie. At this point, he's getting outplayed by a undrafted free agent instead of him being a third round pick and being in there as the number 2. So I think that if you're paying dividends right now, keep Mostert. If you want to keep it for the long term, because probably week 12 you're going to have the third string quarterback or third string running back for the 49ers in there anyways. So short term, keep Mostert. Long term, keep Davis-Price.
All right, Greg, I hate to do this to you, but, we got another fan commented live, and it's a 2-part question again. I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you, my friend. All right, so Delusional Tanner, he wants to know, Deontay Johnson or Brandon Cooks in a half PPR. So there's your first one. Deontay Johnson going against Patriots, Houston Texans. I don't remember who the hell they're playing today. The Broncos.
I like Deontay Johnson in the matchup against the Patriots because the Patriots are not the Patriots, right? And Deontay Johnson always has a heavy load of targets out there in Pittsburgh. And you can see the connection between him and Trubisky last week. So I'm going to lean more towards Deontay Johnson this week.
All right, so if you start Deontay Johnson, would you bench Swift because of his snap count for Brandon Cooks? That's his next question.
No.
So you ride Swift. All right.
Because Swift has that breakaway. He can always break a run off. He has that speed and elusiveness. So I'm going to still play with Swift.
Well, thank you, the Delusional Tanner. All right, let's go to Fred here, going from Vince. This was on Justin's Twitter feed, or I believe Kamara or ATN, and should Kamara? Oh well, no.
Yeah.
Bye, Kamara.
See, Fred, I hit you up with the easy questions.
But let me throw this in there. If I had a choice now, I would probably start Ingram. I would start Ingram over Etienne. I don't like the Colts defense is pretty steady. I think they got embarrassed last week with that 2020 tie. I think they really come to beat up on Jacksonville because that's what they always do. So I would actually start Ingram over Etienne if I had the opportunity.
All right, hey, a good call there. All right, I like how let's Fred on the improv. I can't even believe it. Good job. All right, yeah, right. Good job, Justin. Let's go to you on this one. This is from Tua's Shaved Taint. Do you go Cole Kmet or Dawson Knox? See, I roll with it. I just roll with it.
Oh my god, that's amazing. You know what? I'm gonna go with
too early.
Game script does not help with Cole Kmet this week, but Dawson Knox, we saw that when they were up and they had the opportunity to target him, they didn't. They only threw him his way one time in that slaughter against the Rams. I'm going to go with Cole Kmet. He's not going to go zeros across the board this week. He is going to put up some sort of stat line. I think it's going to be better than Dawson Knox.
Yes, sir.
Did you see I don't know if you guys seen it come through, but Adam Schefter just said that Dobbins is not expected to play today.
Okay, there we go. I mean, listen, at the end
and
of
I was
the
actually
day,
starting him today.
when they're facing America's team, he ain't going to get nothing anyway. All right.
At this point, Gus Edwards is going to play before he does.
And I'm not scared of him either. All right, let's go back to Greg. This is from our friends at the Wrestling Addicts podcast. He wants one of these guys in his flex. He had a whole line other guys, but the other guys I just took out. But one of these guys, Devin Duvernay, James Robinson, Adam Thielen, Brandon Ayuk, or Zach Moss.
I'm going Robinson. Robinson showed that he's coming through, and he's still the 1A back in Jacksonville. He's going to get those goal line carries. So Thielen is playing second fiddle to Jefferson. Ayuk's playing second fiddle to Debo. So I'm running with James Robinson.
Still Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, that's for sure. All right, let's go to Fred on this one. This is from a Jabberjaw. You'd like to know in a flex standard, Ezekiel Elliott, Allen Robinson, or Drake London?
Wow, flex standard. You know what? I'm going with Zeke this week. Damn it, we got to run the ball, man. We're not going to win throwing the ball. Cooper Rush is just coming in. Come on, Zeke. Get your 25 touches. Get a good 120 yards and a couple of TDs. Get back to the OZ. Come on, bro. We got this. Dallas, lean on Zeke.
Yeah, they got
25 rushes for like 25 yards.
I think Nick always likes to use that touchdown dependent word, and that's really I think what Zeke is, especially in standard format. I like Allen Robinson to have a bounce back game this week, especially against this Atlanta defense. So again, who's to say? But yes, go ahead, Justin.
To be fair, onto your point, Coop, Sean McVay's been talking about he needs to get the ball to Allen Robinson, so I'm actually on with that one. I think that Allen Robinson is going to have a day today against the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, this is the day. If he's going to have a day, this is going to be the day to do it for sure. All right, let's go to Mansville, and I didn't quite understand who Dietmont was, and this was on your Twitter, so I thought maybe you could differentiate who these people are. I know. I'm assuming Etienne's Etienne and Jeff Wilson here, but who's he? Who's Demont? Do you know?
Montgomery.
Yeah.
David
Who is
Montgomery,
it?
yeah.
Oh, David Montgomery. All right. See, I'm not hip on the lingo apparently. So David Montgomery, Etienne, or Jeff Wilson Jr.
Oh well, you know what? The wheelhouse comes back out. You know what? I liked Etienne. I liked what he did, but as OJ said, he's not the guy there. He is the 1B there, and that speaks volumes in this offense. We saw it last week. Robinson took 2 touchdowns last week. Etienne can break off a big play, but if he's not getting those touchdowns, he's not worth it in fantasy. Jeff Wilson Jr. to me, full-blown number 1 guy in that offense. I'm going to take it all day long. Demont, I was high on Demont going into the year, but Khalil Herbert took away a lot of his touches, a lot of important touches, and he's playing the defense of the Green Bay Packers, which I think is going to be a really good one this week. So I'm going to go Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, you heard it on our summer tour here first. We had Mikey Bets in. We had Brad from the Unbearable Podcast. That's what they talked about was him. David Montgomery might not even be the starter going into it, and we were kind of skeptical. But you saw it in the first game. David Montgomery, I think he averaged like 2-point-something yards, and Khalil Herbert was at 5-point-something. So big difference. Again, it was the monsoon game, so take that for what it is. But we'll see today. We're going to see today how that game script plays out against the Packers. All right, let's get our last one in. This one is from Adam Hulse. Greg, for you, kind of in your wheelhouse, right? Michael Carter or Tony Pollard today?
Ooh. This is a tough one, boy.
That's tough.
They're playing the Browns defense, but Tony Pollard. But you know what? Go with Michael Carter. Why not? He's going to get the carries. Breece Hall fumbled last week. Michael Carter is the bell cow right now in the Jets offense. Again, I'm not trusting nobody in Dallas right now. That looks like Dallas reminds me of Houston Texans last year. That's how bad they look this year.
Yeah, with Cooper Rush at the helm today against a pretty decent Bengals defense, they're gonna, it's like you said, this is gonna be a tough matchup. All the way around. I'm not expecting much of anything from Dallas to be fair. Yes, Justin.
My boy, my co-host on the Dynasty Brews podcast has one for Fred.
Okay. Here we go.
Ooh.
Melvin Gordon or Travis Etienne, the battle of the backups. Who do you got in this game?
I'm interested.
Let's see Melvin Gordon, who he's playing. Denver versus
the Texans.
Houston. The Texans. Oh, that's pretty tough. I'll go with Melvin Gordon. They did a good 50-50 split last week. The Texans, I mean, obviously they're not that good. I think they just got lucky last week against the Colts. Etienne, like I already said, I think the Colts are going to dominate them this game. They have to dominate them to feel good about themselves and really get a stronghold on the division. So yeah, I'm going with Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, for all the talk of Javonte Williams coming in and just taking things over, it was a nice split last week, as you mentioned. So that's for sure. All right, well, it's time to do some bets. Let's bring our boy Mikey Bets in, and I can already see I think it's like a common theme. He's in his car, of course. Was that a little Dunkin' Donuts that I saw you put down in the console?
Why do you think I'm in my car? Why do you think I'm in my car?
It's such a big illusion. It's so crazy. Look at that big old extra large iced coffee too to get it started.
Dude, and look how much, I don't want to take too much time up, but look how much cream they put in here. I asked for light cream. Whatever. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Morning,
great, brother. That's how they get you to come back, my brother. That's how they get you to come back. All right, let's bring up Mikey Bets last week. He was bringing the Thunder last week. Look at this. 18-5. That's including with the picks that he made with us. So great job, my friend. Give us your big bets of this week 2.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We had a good week last week. Hopefully we can roll again. I'm going to start it off with Sunday night for the Bears-Packers game because obviously Bears-Packers game is going to be the best game of the week. Khalil Herbert over 24.5 rushing yards. I think we all saw how he took over the game last week. And the fact that they're still only giving him 24.5 points, that shows disrespect. I know these players look at the lines too. I know they don't bet on it, but I know they look at the lines and feel that kind of disrespect. So I'm going Khalil Herbert over 24.5 rushing yards. Moving it to the Lions game, I'm going against the Commanders. I'm going Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns, -115. Why not, right? Why not? I have no explanation for that one. Just why not? I think the Redskins or the Commanders stink, and Jared Goff is due. So there's that. Number 3, I'm going to go with the Steelers money line. I have no idea. I feel like it's a trap game. I have no idea how they're underdogs against the Patriots at home. Mac Jones, I'm not a big Mac Jones guy, so I don't really know. And plus, they got Mr. Trubisky, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Go Bears. Number 4, we have Jameis Winston over 1.5 touchdowns at +105. He's going against his old team. Revenge game for Jameis always against the Bucs. He's just a goofy guy, so he's going to go off. Kamara's out, so he's got to sling it. So yeah, over 1.5 touchdowns +105. Next, I'm going to move it to Matt Ryan over 226 passing yards. I like the Jaguars in this game. Realistically, they haven't lost. The Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. So yeah, there's that. But I still feel like Matt Ryan's going to get some yards, and he had such a stinky week last week, so he needs to turn it up there. I'm also going to do over 1.5 touchdowns for him as well at +135. So I'm double dipping on Matt Ryan. Hopefully he doesn't screw me over like he did last week. Next up, I got Monday night football game. I have Eagles -2.5 because they're playing the Vikings. Yeah, people are like, oh, the Vikings are good this year. Not on Monday nights. Kirk Cousins is like 1-11 on Monday Night Football. So I'm definitely taking the Eagles on that one. Number 8, I'm going to move it to Rams -10. They got embarrassed last week by the Bills, and I don't think it's that the Rams are bad. I just think the Bills are just that good. So, yeah, I'm going to say the Rams -10, and we'll see. 49ers -8.5 right now against the Seahawks. Seahawks won last week against the Broncos, but that was their Super Bowl. That was probably the best they're going to play. They played at home against Russell Wilson. They were going to play lights out for that. Going to San Francisco or wherever the hell they play now. I think it's like St. Clair or something like that.
Yeah, Santa Clara.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I don't think they're going to come in with the confidence. I know they're division rivals, but yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers here and -9. So we'll do that. Bengals -7. I feel like that's a trap game. I don't know why.
Ooh.
I have no idea why, but no Dak. What are they going to do? They stunk last week without Dak. With Dak, what are they going to do without him? So Bengals -7. I'm taking it. I know it's a home game against the Cowboys, but Cowboys stink at home too, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, we got Titans +10. Now everyone's looking at me like, "Oh, what's wrong with this guy?" Titans +10 against the Bills. The Bills just ran a train on the Rams. Last year, they were supposed to get blown out too. The Titans were supposed to get smoked by the Bills, and I think the Bills ended up winning by 3 points. That being said, as well, Mike Vrabel does not lose in primetime. I'm going with the trends this week. Usually I like to stick away from the trends, but Mike Vrabel, there's something about him. He doesn't lose in prime time, so I'm taking Mike Vrabel for the points, not for the game, because that's kind of scary. Next up, we're going to go back to that Cowboys-Bengals game. I'm going to do Higgins anytime touchdown scorer at +200. I'm going to put a unit on this one. It's just a little unit. He was hurt last year. Last week. He was getting his rhythm, and he's finally going to be back. So I think he's going to have a bounce back game. Anytime touchdown, T. Higgins. And then we have Hunter Renfrow versus the Cardinals, over 48.5 receiving yards. I love Hunter Renfrow. There's something about him, so I'm just taking him. So that's just a fan. That's just a fan taking a bet right there. And then Allen Robinson, over 49.5 receiving yards, going back to the Rams game. He stunk last week. He stunk. So you have to come back. If you don't come back, you're banned from the betting list. I'm never betting on you again, Allen Robinson. So there's that. And then my last pick of the day, I think I just gave out 15 picks because I'm a psychopath. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown score. I love it. It's at -105. The odds are as good as they're going to get this whole year. I'm taking it. You have to. He dominated the Bills last year, so I'm doing it again. Anytime for Derrick Henry.
All right, Mike, I got to mute you while we talk because you're in your car. There's a bad echo in there. But I just want to point out that, I'm sure Allen Robinson right now is taping up in the locker room like, oh, shit, I'm going to get off Mikey's bet list. Let me make sure I have a good day today. But but I like some of the stuff he had to say. I like some of the bets you're bringing up. I have Matt Ryan as my stardom today. I talked about it on Friday's show about this being bounce back week. So those guys that you drafted high that, had a stinky week, no matter their matchup, you're going to play them because I promise you they are going to bounce back. It's just a numbers game. That's just how it works. So, Mike, are you sticking around for the picks?
If my mic's fine, is my mic better? I think I might have fixed it.
Your mic's good. It's just the okay, I don't hear it. All right, good. Yeah, so it's just the echo. So we seem to be good now. All right, and while you're in, we had another fan. So I'll just bring this one to you. We had another fan comment in here. He wants to know, he's been hearing a lot. This is Lucius Vornius 44. He's been hearing a lot about the Saints D today. He says, I know Tampa's got a lot of injuries, but what do you think in this matchup? Do you think Tampa's still going to eat?
Screw Tampa. I'm taking the Saints +2.5. I think the line just moved to 3.5 too. I'm taking the Saints. Let's ride.
Yeah, I like the Saints anyway. So with all this stuff going on, I mean, definitely, I definitely like them going up today. All right.
Sorry, real quick. Tom Brady should get tested for steroids or some kind of anti-aging stuff. Because have you seen him? He looks like Giselle has done some work to him. So NFL test him.
It's starting to look more and more like Zoolander every day.
Yeah, he is.
It's funny. We're not the National Enquirer, but it was funny as I got up this morning getting prepared for the show. I hit this little thing on Yahoo, and apparently the big story right now is that him and Giselle have been living separately now for a month. So, hey, if he starts getting hit in the mouth, watch how quick he falls down. All right, listen. It's Sunday morning, guys, and I know last week I kind of screwed this up, but it's time. We go to church on Sunday, right? So before we get into our daily picks, let's get a quick visit from Fantasy Jesus.
I'm here to save your fantasy roster.
Good morning, fantasy football fans. This is the Fantasy Jesus here to give you the DFS picks of the week. At quarterback, we got Derek Carr playing the Arizona Cardinals. Derek Carr last week went for 295 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But this week, he's playing the Arizona Cardinals, who gave up 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Last week, Carr, he hyper-targeted Devontae Adams 17 times of his 37 passes. Look for that to be something to look out for in this game. And look for the Arizona Cardinals to give up another big day to Derek Carr. Antonio Gibson is my running back play of the week. I mean, let's face it, Detroit Lions, man, you got more holes in your defense than Swiss cheese. Giving up 216 yards to the Philadelphia Eagles, 4 rushing touchdowns. Antonio Gibson has got to be your play of the week. Deebo Samuel since week 10 has averaged 6.7 carries a game. He's also averaged 1 touchdown per 7 touches. So you do the math. Looks like we're setting up for a big Deebo game. Mark Andrews. I'll give you 4 reasons that you want Mark Andrews on your DFS line. He has averaged 8 targets versus the Dolphins, 7 receptions versus the Dolphins, 85 yards versus the Dolphins, and 1 touchdown. That sounds like a great game plan for me. And after that 2-game sample size, I love what he's bringing to the table. I don't think the Dolphins have what it takes to lock him down. This was Fantasy Jesus, and back to you, Commish.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Fantasy Jesus. I hope you all pray on that. All right, guys, it's time for our weekly breakdown. All right, just to bring up our picks from last week, look who was the winner. He's not even here. Mike, I didn't include you on here because, you know, we didn't have you the full go, so it wasn't fair to compare you on here. But we got Nick at 11-5, Fred at 10-6, Greg 9-7, me 9-7, and good old Fantasy Jesus at 9-7 as well. All right, so we got to catch up to Nick. You know what it is, though? Because he doesn't get up early with us, and he's not all foggy in the brain. That's what it is. All right, let's get on to our big games today. Carolina at the Giants. The Panthers lead this series 7-5. The last time these guys played was last year. Actually, the Giants won 25-3, believe it or not. Giants -2, and the over-under for this one is 43.5. Justin, I'll go to you first on this. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one. I think that somehow they're 2 teams that are almost exactly the same. They have a good team that knows how to play defense. They've got a bell cow running back. They've got a know-nothing, can't do anything quarterback. And then they've got wide receivers that maybe could show up. I like DJ Moore to show up a little bit more in this game. I think the Panthers will get a rhythm going. I think Christian McCaffrey shows a little bit more than he did last week. And I think that actually this defense, they won't completely wrap up Saquon, but they won't allow him to go for 161 yards this year or this week. So I think that the Panthers will do just enough to beat the Giants. All
right, got the upset special on this. Greg, what say you?
I'm going with the New York Magic. I'm going with the Giants. There's something with the new head coach and the energy that he's bringing. You saw something last week with the Giants, so I believe that's going to carry over. So I'm going with the Giants.
Brad, who you like?
I like the Giants as well. I like the cojones, man, that Brian Daboll brings to the team now. He could have went for that tie. He's like, you know what? We're going to change this. We're going for this win. And he was doing the right thing. He's feeding Saquon, hitting him on the flats. I'm going with the Giants in this game.
Mikey, who you like?
This game stinks. I'm going with the Panthers just because it stinks. They should have made it a Thursday night game because nobody's going to watch this.
Oh, wow.
just as 7 million New Yorkers.
Yeah, screw that.
Giants fans.
What's ironic, Mikey, is that we do have a snore of the week thing, but this one doesn't even make it, actually, believe it or not. But this is actually pretty close. But all of us go Giants on this except for Justin, believe it or not. So he is, in fact, the lone wolf on that pick. All right, Colts at Jags. We talked about the rain might be affecting this game. All right, Colts lead the series 26-16. Last year they split though, and the last game is actually in 2022. The Jags won 26-11. Prior to that, the Colts won 23-17. Jaguars +3 in this matchup. The over is 45.5. Greg, who you like in the matchup?
I got 2 words for you. Jonathan Taylor. All day. After the way they lost last week, they're going to feed that kid. No Michael Pittman. They're going to run that ball right down Jacksonville's throat. So I'm going with the Colts.
Like it. Fred, what say you?
Definitely agree. They have to redeem themselves from last week for that kind of stinker they put up. So Jonathan Taylor might have 150 yards or better this week.
Mikey, who you like?
My heart says Jags, but I'm going to go with the Colts as well.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I'm kind of feeling the same way in that respect, where I'm kind of feeling like this is smelling like maybe a Jaguar upset, but I just can't do it. I'm still going to go with the Colts. Justin, how about you, sir?
Yeah, same. I'm going to go with the Colts. Honestly, you gotta respect Jonathan Taylor. Like OJ said, like this man is just going to kill the Jaguars. And then at the end of the day, they're going to find some way to do it. Matt Ryan's done it a million times before. He's had Julio on his roster. He's lost Julio. He's going to get it done. Colts are going to win.
Yeah, but could be. I do got that feeling this could be that upset special today. Speaking of non-upset specials, how about America's teams going up to Baltimore to put a Psycho Beta beatdown on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens? Ravens lead this series 10-7. Last year was their last matchup. The Dolphins won 22-10. The Ravens right now minus 3.5 point, 3.5, excuse me. The over-under is 44.5. Fred, we'll go to you first. Who do you like in the matchup?
The Ravens. I just think quarterbacks win. I think Lamar's got something to prove. I seen the way he just started flinging that ball last week in the second half versus the Jets. Not saying the Jets got a good defense, but I believe Miami's corner is still hurt, so it kind of hurts him as well. I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
All right. What do you say, Mikey Bets?
Damn it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Dolphins plus 3.5 just because I like Jason.
All right. See, that's why I'll take it. Jump on the bandwagon now. And of course, I'm going to take America's team today. We got a little bit, like I said, we got Lamar's number because we've built this defense to defeat the running quarterback. We got Josh Allen in our division for a reason. So, that's what we built it around. Lamar, we're going to bring a little bit of more for you. Justin, what say you on the matchup?
Hey, how does that work out against Josh Allen?
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know this season.
All right. So I'm going to go with the Ravens too. Fantasy Jesus put it best. I mean, Mark Andrews has field days against the Dolphins, and that's his best target. That's his favorite target. I don't think that Rashad Bateman's going to show up, but Mark Andrews is all he really needs, and he needs those legs too. I think that this is going to be a very close matchup, but I'm taking the Ravens in Baltimore as well.
Yeah, I brought up last week, tight ends always are Achilles heel. Greg, what say you?
Baltimore. What everybody else said. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and I hate the Dolphins.
Well, you know what's up. All right, let's go on to the Patriots at the Steelers. Patriots lead this series 17-16. So if Steelers win today, it's all tied up. Last time they played was in 2019. Obviously, different teams. 33-3, the Patriots. That was Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger, funny enough. Steelers plus 2.5, and the over-under. Sorry, I didn't take that off from earlier. The over-under is 40.5. So we're going to go to Mikey Bets on this one first. Who do you like in the matchup?
I'm going to hammer the Steelers' money line. I'm going to absolutely hammer the Steelers' money line. I mean, I have no idea why they're dogs. I love Mike Tomlin. I love Mitch Trubisky, sad to say. But I think that the Steelers are going to just go in there or they're going to have the Patriots come in and they're just going to pound them. So I can't wait. I'm putting a big wager on this one. So
all right. Mikey's all in on the Steelers today, big time. Justin, what say you?
Hey, Mikey, is it a thing? Is Chicago sympathetic to Mitch Trubisky? Do they think that he just got the raw end of the deal with Matt Nagy?
Have you seen Matt Nagy or no?
I mean, yeah, I understand the Matt Nagy effect.
Yeah, okay.
But
I'm not saying he's a good quarterback, but I'm not saying he's bad because nobody knows because Matt Nagy was, I mean, oh my God, it was. I can't even talk about it.
Damn, you better some old feelings there, Justin.
So it's not like Carson Wentz in Philly, right? It's not like Carson Wentz in Philly where they're like, "Oh, fuck that guy, he sucks."
And Philly fans are a different breed, right, Nick? But where is he at? Sleeping.
Right, exactly.
I'm going Pittsburgh. I've ranted enough. Pittsburgh's going to tie it up.
Well, thank you for noticing you ranted enough. OJ, what say you, sir?
I'm going Pittsburgh as well. I like Deontay Johnson, and I like Najee Harris. I think he's going to get a heavy load this week.
All right, before I Fred to go we got a fan comment. CGC Games would like to know Michael Thomas or Melvin Gordon at the flex.
I like Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas, any of you guys got anything different than that?
Melvin Gordon. I think the Bucs defense is still going to be kind of tough, and Melvin Gordon gets a 50-50 split. So, and it's against Houston, so I'm going Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to say the least. No, Mike, this one is not recorded this week because there's no Miami Dolphin home game, so that's why we're live at 8 a.m. All right, let's go on. To
wait! I do pick the
Secrets
Steelers
out.
I think this may be this year's the demise of Bill Belichick. I was reading an article yesterday, and they said the game is passing him by.
See, I actually totally disagree with all of you. I know Bill Belichick, and I know that he's going to get this team prepared for this matchup. I am the lone wolf. I'm not going to keep hitting the damn thing. I'm going to, because it keeps have to scroll back up before it's annoying. I'm going to go with Bill Belichick. I think he game plans this correctly, and I like him to upset Mitch Trubisky and this Steelers defense today. All right, without TJ Watt, mind you. All right, Jets and the Browns. All right, so the Browns lead the series 15-13. The last time these two teams played was in 2020. Jets won 23-13. Browns -6.5. The over/under today is 39.5. And quite frankly, I think it should be less than that. This, fellas, by the way, is our snore of the week. I hope
this is so disrespectful.
I wish it was 4 o'clock. I would definitely be taking a little power nap for sure. Let's go to Justin first on this matchup. Who do you like?
I couldn't agree with you more. I was falling asleep while you were just doing the introductions on this thing. This is just going to be Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt run the ball all day long, and the Jets maybe get a touchdown at the end. I'm going the Browns all day long. I don't care how bad Jacoby Brissett is. All he has to do is hand it off to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
I think I heard it best explained earlier in the week. This is like 1950s football back again. I'm surprised I'll see Joe Namath. It's Joe Flacco. It's the same thing. OJ, what say you?
Something got to give. So I'm going with the Jets. Something has to give. So why not against the Browns? Jacoby Brissett. And the Jets defense is good against the run. So I'm just saying. This could be the upset of the week. The Jets, something got to give.
I didn't know the Jets were good at anything. Fred, what say you?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you about the snore of the week. But I'm agreeing with Greg OJ. For the first half of the game, we played great defense against the run. I think we do it again this week. We always get that one upset game like we did with Cincinnati last year. So I think this is the game.
Yeah, no matter what I do, no matter how many times I ask, you did not pick the Jets in our text. So just
you know what? You're right. I didn't. Right. It says Cleveland.
So, right. So let's mark down. You're still going with the Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
That's your luck.
Freddie,
all right, Mikey, what say you?
Give me a New York license, tag, everything back. You ain't from New York. Get out.
Mikey, who you like in the matchup?
All right. Yeah, I'm taking the Browns -6.5. Why? Why? How is this an underdog going against Jacoby Brissett? Is an underdog? It's going to be an upset. Pretty freaking sad.
Yeah, I say not. I agree. All right, Saints at Bucks. Saints lead this series 39-22. The last year Saints actually swept the Bucks. They won 9-0, and they won 36-27. Right now, the Saints. You said it went up earlier, Mike. This was from earlier this morning, but it was plus 2.5. You said it might be 3.5 now. The over under is 44 in this matchup. Greg, what say you?
The Saints has Tom Brady number. They have had his number since he came into the division. I'm riding with the Saints.
All right, likey. Fred, what say you?
I'm going with the Bucks. Kamara not being there is pretty big. Like I said, I like Ingram, but I don't think I like him as much as Kamara, so I think that makes a big difference.
All right, and Greg, just like Fred, you did not pick Saints in the text. All right, Mikey, what say you on this matchup? You did? Then I did the graphic wrong.
Yeah, you see, look at the text. I'm not Freddie.
All right, Mikey, what say you?
I'm taking Saints money line on this one too, for a couple of units over here because they have Tom Brady's number. So why not?
Yeah,
and Jameis Winston revenge game.
I like it. What say you, Justin?
I did not like the way the Saints looked against Atlanta, and I think that the Bucs defense is going to handle. I think it's going to be a lot like the 9-0 game. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think it's going to go the Bucs' way this week.
Yeah, easy to take the under in this one, and could be, like I said, could be an upset. But like you said, Saints were impressive, and the Bucs were mighty impressive. So, again, the graphics wrong, so who cares? But I am going Saints on this one. All right, so Commanders at the Lions as the next matchup. Commanders lead the series 31-15. Last time they played was in 2020. Detroit won 30-27. Lions minus 1.5. The over/under is 48.5. Fred, what say you?
This could have been a potential snore of the week, but I'm going with Detroit. I mean, I kind of like the way they played last week, man. The Commanders are just, I'm already giving up on their defense. I think Detroit's going to pull it off and shock some people.
Mikey, what say you?
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit Lions as well. Like the Commanders, but this is another tricky game too. A lot of them are, but I'm taking Lions. Lions minus 1.5.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. I like it. Justin, what say you?
I'm going to go with the Commanders in this one. I think that they're just, at this point, they've got more options on defense. They've a little better coaching. I like Dan Campbell, but Ron Rivera's a little bit more heady than Dan Campbell is at this point. And then, I think the Lions are a good team, but I think that the Commanders will pull it off in this one.
A little more heady, he says. Greg, what say you?
I'm going with Detroit. I think Jamal Williams is going to have a big game in the red zone this week.
Yeah, I like Jamal Williams as a play today. He's always good in the red zone too. I am going Lions. I like them at home with the non-heady Dan Campbell getting them fired up, ready to go. All right, let's go to the next one. Falcons at Rams. Rams lead the series 48-30-2. Last time they played was 2019. Rams won 37-10. Rams minus 10 today, over under 46.5. Sounds like the same game. I don't need to say much. It's Rams all day for me in this one. Mikey, what say you?
Rams by 1 billion. I can't wait to watch this game.
Justin, what say you?
Yeah, I'll echo that. Rams by 1 billion plus 1.
Before we get on to Greg, we got another fan question from 7. Greg, will kick it to you. A Nyheim Hines or Christian Kirk PPR with Pittman out? What do you say?
Ooh. I'm kind of liking Christian Kirk. He's the number one receiver out there in Jacksonville. Who else is Trevor Lawrence going to throw it to? And they're going to be down. I think they're going to be down a lot. So coming back from behind, they got to sling that ball.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, Greg, what do you say on the Rams Falcons matchup?
I love LA. That's it.
We love it. I think we all love it today. Fred, you got any? Are you the lone wolf?
Nope. Get back on track game. Here we go. Let's go, Rams.
Yeah, I think that's easy speasy. Definitely get back on track. Like I said, for fantasy purposes, Allen Robinson, I think, has a great bounce back game today, so we shall see. All right, let's go to the Bay here. The Seattle Seahawks go to the 49ers. Talked about the rain. Hopefully even things out for the Niners today. Seahawks lead this series 30-17. I was surprised to find out the Seahawks swept the 49ers last year. Wow. Seahawks 30-23 and 28-21, so both by a touchdown. 49ers, though, this year, -9, and the over-under is 40.5. So, Justin, our Niner insider, what say you?
Yeah, the 49ers got to learn how to just finish the job when it comes to Seattle, because both those games, I believe, were comeback games for Russell Wilson. So, I think that this team, and like Mikey said, it was the Super Bowl for Seattle last week. They played their ass off. They still should have lost that game, but they played their ass off and they won it. So now I'm looking at this Niners team. You got to prove something, man. You got to go out there. You got to prove something. Trey Lance is a big game for you, son. Deebo Samuel is going to be heavily involved. I think that they've got a lot more firepower and a lot of people that could use they've got a head coach that could use it a little bit better. Pete Carroll is not the problem in San Francisco. It was Russell Wilson. So I think that this week, Niners get back on track. They beat Seattle in San Francisco, or Santa Clara. I'm sorry.
Justin had to get that a long analysis for this Niners one. All right, Greg,
hey, man, saving it up, man. Saving it up for the big one.
I'm going Niners, but I just saw, original BX Bomber said Niners too, so that's the kiss of death. But I'm still going to roll with my pick.
Good old Mike put the jakes on him today. Fred, what say you?
I picked the Niners, but I'm definitely not confident. Seattle could definitely whip them, and if they do, feel bad for the 49ers.
All right, Mikey, who you like?
I'm taking the 49ers as well. Yeah, -8.5. So
yeah,
it's just right.
I think that's easy speasy for sure today. But I thought that last week with the Broncos, and now I'm out of every eliminator pool that I possibly got in. All right, so let's go on to the next matchup. We got the Cardinals at the Raiders. Raiders lead this series 6-4. Last time these teams played was 2018. It was a 23-21 win by the Raiders. The Raiders -5, and the over-under is 51.5. So this should be a nice fantasy bonanza game. So if you got anyone in this matchup, I think it's a good play either way. Greg, we'll go to you first on this one. Who do you like?
Who do I have? I like the Raiders. I had a Freddie moment. I like the Raiders. I think this is a bounce back game for the Raiders.
Yeah, all right. Fred, what say you, sir?
I'm going with the Cardinals, man. They got to come. I think the same thing. It's a bounce back game for the Cardinals. They got to win today.
All right, Mikey, who you like?
Raiders -5.5, because I hate Cliff Kingsbury. He stinks.
He's the worst. Yeah, he's terrible.
I love Mikey's analysis. He's like, yeah, you guys stink. You guys suck.
It's that simple. I did like 4 hours of research last night, and I was like, you know what? These teams just stink. Like, this guy stinks. This guy stinks. That's how I base it.
Mikey, you know how to put things in layman's terms. That's what we appreciate. Justin, what say you, sir?
Yeah, I'm going to echo Mikey's sentiments there. Cliff Kingsbury just stinks. He sucks. He's the highest paid, worst coach out there, to be honest with you. His coaching career is no better than his playing career was at this point. But, yeah, the quarterback, he's a little bit more redeemable, but, yeah, the coach can definitely go, jump off a cliff.
I kind of disagree as far as I like his offensive style. I think, I think they're just injured on the defense, but I do like their offense. And I think, again, this could be a good, fun fantasy bonanza today, but I still like the Raiders in this matchup. So, Fred, you are our lone wolf for that one. Like I said, I'm not scrolling down. Let's go ahead and nail it out. Good job. All right, let's go to the Bengals at the Cowboys. Cowboys lead the series 9-4. Last time they played was in 2020. Cowboys won 30-7. I don't know if that's happened today. Cowboys +7 today, it said. Over under 42.5. Let's go to Fred on this one. What do you think?
Cincinnati. I don't see anything I can talk about for the Cowboys. So it's all Cincinnati today.
Yeah, I streamed the Bengals defense anywhere I could if somebody dropped them today. I think it's a great play. Mikey, what say you?
Cincinnati -7, 100%.
Nice. All right, Justin, what say you?
What wasn't shown on that Fantasy Jesus video is the Cincinnati Bengals right now are 2,200 on DraftKings. Go get in on that because that's going to be a steal. Last week, Cooper Rush took 2 sacks when he only dropped back like 13 times. It's going to be a bloodbath.
How to get Jesus under 2 minutes. Sorry about that. But yes, Bengals D was big for Jesus. Joe J, what say you, sir?
Bengals.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one. This is that clean sweep of the week. Everyone here like Bengals. All right, let's go on to the next matchup. Broncos at Texans. Broncos lead the series 5-3. Last time they played was 2019. Broncos won 38-14. Broncos -10. The over-under is 5 in this matchup. Justin, what say you?
Broncos all day long. I like Davis Mills, but the Broncos are going to be serious about this one. They're going to go out there and they're just going to make a statement out of the Houston Texans. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Let's ride. Greg, what say you?
That's it.
Broncos, this is their bounce back game. I think Russell's going to target those wide receivers a lot more than he did against Seattle. So I think it's going to be the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I like everybody on the Broncos. Yeah, I'm going Broncos big as well. Fred, what say you?
I agree with the Broncos, but I think Cooks has a big game because, once again, with 12 targets.
Yeah, I mean, again, talking about garbage time, he could play some Texans and some garbage time stuff today, so you might be right on point there. Mikey, what say you?
I like the Broncos, but I think the Texans are going to cover plus 10. This is not last year's Texans team. Last week I took Texans plus 7. Even on my show, people laughed at me, and I was like, all right, well, let's ride. And guess what? So I'm doing it again. Texans plus 10.
Yeah, I like that. Not a bad play there. All right, let's go to the oldest rivalry of all time, and I know Mikey's been waiting around for this one. The Bears at the Packers. Last week, Mikey called his shot, and he was correct. Packers lead the series 103-95-6. Last year, Packers swept the Bears 45-30 and 24-14. Packers minus 9.5. The over/under is 41.5. Mikey, let's go to you first. Who do you like in this one?
Taking the Bears, baby. Money line and plus 10. Screw Aaron Rodgers. I hate that guy. He stinks. Easy layman's terms. And it might be a little wet down there or up there in Green Bay. So weather's going to be a factor. I hope that it's storming, and I hope that guy can throw. So let's go Bears.
Little wet down there. That's what she said. And Mikey, we got a fan comment. Mikey he's directing this at you. So Mike to Mike, because he doesn't want us to comment because it's, our league and whatever. But who would you start for him? Burkhead, Thielen, or Metcalf?
I would love to start Thielen if it wasn't Monday night. So I'm still going to start Thielen. Thielen over Metcalf. Metcalf's the safe play. Metcalf is a safe play, but I do like Thielen over all three of them. So, and then I think this week is where you're going to see Dameon Pierce start to creep in the game. So
yeah, game script may not dictate that. I do like Burkhead in a PPR format because, again, talking about they're going to have to throw in garbage time. But yeah, I do like it. But don't take my advice, Mike. All right, Justin, what say you on Bears Packers?
Oh man, it doesn't matter how wet it's going to be down there, man. Like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is the master of bad weather games. This man could throw a ball in a hailstorm. I just think that Aaron Rodgers is going to probably go there, and he's just, no offense to the Bears, but he's just going to rack them up and knock them down when it comes to the Bears. I'm going to go with Green Bay on this one. I think this is the redemption game for him and that receiving core. Allen Lazard all the way.
Greg, who you like?
Sorry, Mikey, but I like Green Bay too. I think they're going to feed that two-headed monster they got in the backfield. A lot more Aaron Jones, a lot more A.J. Dillon. If the conditions are what you said, it's going to be a run game. It's going to be ugly. And like Justin said, Aaron Rodgers knows how to win those ugly games. So I'm going Green Bay.
Allen Lazard was questionable, so make sure you monitor that as we get close. Fred, what say you?
Green Bay at home, first game, Lambeau Field. Let's go, Pack.
Go, Pack, go. I think we all kind of agree that this is a big bounce back for Aaron Rodgers this week. Again, it's bounce back week. All right, going with that theme. All right, let's go with this weird simulcast Monday night game. I'm not even sure what the NFL was thinking here, but we got Titans visiting the Buffalo Bills. Titans, whoops, I kind of spoiled that already. Titans lead this series 30-19. Last time they played, Mikey, actually the Titans won 34-31. It was a very close game. Bills minus 10, over under 47.5. Justin, even though I already revealed it, who do you like?
Sorry, I was looking at this real quick. Allen Lazard is expected to play according to Adam Schefter.
Nice. Beautiful. Thank you for that early morning update. We needed it.
Yes, sir. That was 19 minutes ago, so it's reliable. So this one's the Bills-Titans, right?
Yes, sir.
So last year, actually, the Titans surprised the Bills and won by 3 points. I'm not going to predict the Titans will do that again. I think there's a lot of firepower on the Bills offense, but I think that whatever the money line is right now, I think they'll definitely cover it in this game. The Titans are a lot better than everybody's making them out to be. Everybody wants to retire Ryan Tannehill. He threw 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions last week. The Giants just had a really good game and they came from behind. So yeah, I'm stamping it with the Bills, but I think that the Titans will cover the money line to take away from Mikey Bets.
Greg, what say you?
I get it.
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I'm going with Buffalo.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Buffalo. I do like Mikey said, I like the Titans bounce back. I like Derrick Henry have a decent game. I'm not afraid to play him against the Bills D because, again, it's a numbers game. He will bounce back, but I still think Bills, Josh Allen, just too much. Fred, what say you?
Bills.
Yeah, that's our another clean sweep that I already revealed earlier. All right, let's go on to our last matchup. And, man, we did so much better on time this week. Good job, guys. Vikings at the Eagles. Vikings lead the series 15-14. Last time they played 2019, Vikings won 38-20. Eagles minus 2.5. The over-under 50.5. Again, fantasy bonanza. I cannot wait for this one. Greg, what say you on this matchup?
This is going to be beautiful on a Monday night, too. But I'm going with the Vikings, Justin Jefferson. I love the way that offense looks with the new head coach, but going Vikings all day.
New man on a Minnesota Vikings. Fred, what say you?
I say the Vikings. I like the way they look. I think they want to show that they can win this division. And if they can win this game, it'll go a long way into showing they can.
Indeed. Mikey, how about you, sir?
Eagles minus 2.5. Like I said, Monday Night Football for Kirk Cousins. He shits the bed. So, yeah.
Can't show up for the big game, apparently. Justin, what say you?
Mikey and me are thinking the same way, but I think the Vikes will actually take it this time. I think Kevin O'Connell solves Kirk Cousins' Monday Night Football primetime problem, which he always shits the bed on primetime. But I think that this game is going to be highly entertaining, but I think the Vikings will take it.
I think it's highly entertaining, so I'm going to go with the home team. I think these teams are pretty even. You guys know I love Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. I do think the Vikings, though, will compete. Obviously, you saw what happened to the Eagles' defense against Detroit, mind you. So, obviously, they're going to bring some firepower. Dalvin Cook should have a decent game as well. But, again, I do like the Eagles to at least win the whole thing anyway, so it should be a good matchup. Fantasy bonanza, though, so it's going to be a fun game. Hopefully, unlike the Chargers-Chiefs game, didn't really build up to that hype, but I think this one will definitely live up to it. All right, guys, we'll have a fun week 2. Good luck on your fantasy rosters. We're going to be on social media, so if you have any other last-minute questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer to them. Hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. We're giving away that Chris Johnson football, so you want to get on that. We appreciate you guys being in with us this week. We're going to have a fun show on Monday. We're going to overreact to all the great things that happened in week 2. We appreciate you, and we are out. We're on a mission. Right.